Oh shoot, I'm live. Sorry about that. Hope everybody's doing good. This is a morning Hullaballoo. I wonder how long I've been live. I didn't know I clicked that thing before I went downstairs to get some water. So this is going to be an interesting live stream. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, good morning. RT Bear coming to you live, obviously live from Hack Studios. That was really, really bizarre. So I hope you guys didn't see anything. You shouldn't. And as always, you guys, Sign of Life. This is very interactive. These morning Hullabaloos are all just kind of like hangout streams. Although I do have some stuff to share with you guys this morning. So once again, hope you guys are all doing good. And I think I got it under control. I think I'm ready. That is so funny, man. These live streams, anything could happen. I hope. I wonder how long I was going live without being in front of the camera. It's weird. I hit one of the buttons to go live. You got to hit two buttons. So I hit one, and then I didn't hit the go live button. And so then I was like, I don't have my water. I have to drink water. And also, I just had a major sneezing fit, so I'm all congested. So I was like, oh man, to get through a live stream, I'm gonna have to get some water. So I didn't think I hit the live button, and then I went downstairs, got some water, and I come back up and I see the live like thing in the corner, and I'm like, oh shit. So that's hilarious. So maybe it didn't happen. You guys aren't mentioning anything, so maybe I didn't screw up as bad as I thought. So we got Paulus Arts. A winner is you. Exactly. This guy right here. I got the answer to that. I thought it would be a good clickbait title. Although I am really I am a winner when it comes right down to it. Hey, Comic Book Bob, what is up? Artie Art. Yeah. All I do is win. You got that right. Hey, Bob, had a great time with you last night on the Pontificators. It's always a good time hanging out with you guys. And it was, I thought you weren't going to be there. So it was an unexpected little pleasure having you come in and hang out. Hold on for a sec. Congestion. What is this? McGregable? McGregorable. Jay. Hail. Leg kick. Oh, we got a good turnout, man. Leg kick, good morning to you. Paula says, I always need water too. Yeah, it's the only thing. You know what's weird is, okay, being born and raised in California, everything, it's a dry climate, right? So you do get congested, but in a different way. Like the Woodlands, Texas, where we're at, we're a little bit south, so there's a lot of humidity. Well, not a crazy amount, but there is humidity. And so, not to get overly, detailed, things like to move around here. Yeah. Let's see. You screwed up, Art. We expect it. Of course. Hey, Zach, what's up, brother? Yeah, it's been a while. I like the painting. You with your split personality. Hey, I was thinking you're my like sci-fi cool action adventure buddy. I don't know if you saw the new Planet of the Apes movie yet. I heard it's pretty good. We should go see it. I cannot get my wife to go see Planet of the Apes. She's not an ape person. She doesn't get it. It's weird. Like there are people that really love the franchise, like since the very beginning. It's like, oh yeah, this is cool, great sci-fi. And then there are people that just can't get past the whole talking ape thing, which is kind of bizarre. You still have your hair at this age. If that ain't winning, I don't know what is. Oh, thank you. Yeah, look at this. Look at this coif. Entertain me. I'm trying. Cunto hair. Cunto hair. I mean, hi, Art. Ha ha ha. I am on summer break. Oh, so I am down, whatever. Yeah, I think there's that, and then there's the Wolverine Deadpool movie that we might go see. Give these local theaters some of our cash, before they go belly up, or try to prevent them from going belly up, I should say. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to get down to some business. Let's get down to business. I am going to present myself. I'm going to present something to you guys, and I'm hoping you guys will respond. Yes, you guys. This is my new project. This is my new love. This is where all my passion is right now. This is my art book. This is Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. This is the sign up pre-backer surprise. If you back up, I guess I should slow down. Sign up. So if you sign up, you guys are eligible for a free mini print. So just by giving your email address, you will be eligible for a mini print, and also you do get a notice before anybody else. So we may be doing some early bird specials. We're still putting the campaign together. The bulk of it is all there, just like little details. So we may do an early bird special and have a discounted tier on the book, which would be cool. And so it helps if you're early bird or if you're a signer upper, because then you get notice, and usually the early bird tiers are limited, so they sell out. So if you can get in there early, you can get I'm thinking at this point, don't hold me to it, but I'm thinking possibly a $5 off kind of thing, and maybe limit it to 20 or 25, so the first 25 people can get in there and get a discounted book. I do understand that right now things are tight financially for people. God, I cannot believe. Inflation. There is no inflation. There's inflation. There's no inflation. Like, we have people in the government saying there's no inflation. It's like, have you been to the supermarket? Have you tried to buy anything lately? There's inflation. I don't know what else to call it. But anyway, I would say the prices of everything are definitely going up. That is not even debatable. So the book is actually bigger than this. It's 9 by 12 and a half. This is an old graphic, and also this is an old cover design. This is the cover with the dust jacket on it. So yeah. So we're generous size, lavish interior pages, 59 glossy stock. It's actually 60 pages. We put this together really, really quick. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to add new pages. So we're going to add new pages to this book. So even if you have the original, which it's sold out, and I do believe the print run was 500, and it was all signed and numbered, so we sold out of that. These books are going for anywhere between like $70 and $110 on eBay right now. So they are sought after, highly collectible. And you guys wanted some of these books. You wanted access to them. So like I said, we completely sold out of them. So we're going back to print on these things, and gonna get them in your hands, hopefully. Yeah, this is a hardbound book, so that's really cool. Nice coffee table. Here's some of the interior pages right here. So the link is in the description, you guys, and this is the pre-launch page. So how that works is you give your email address, and then you will get early notice when we go live, and you will be eligible for a mini print, absolutely free, with the backing of a book. So you have to back a tier or something like that to get that mini print. So got some of the business taken care of. I'm going to put a link in the description here, so you guys don't have to, well, not in the description, but in the chat, so you don't have to go to the description. There it is. It's right here. Click on that, you guys, and give your email address. It'll be great. And what do you got to lose at this point? I mean, even if you don't back a book, like for some reason, finances, whatever, at least you're eligible for it. You have options. If you don't, then you don't have any options, and you can't get that free print. So let's see what else is going on. Joseph says, I like when your dog checks on you. Yeah, yeah. We went out to breakfast together. Yeah, we there's some of these drive-through specials. So we went and we're gonna see what that's all about. So we went through a drive-through. We had Arrow with us, Arrow Inco Tiber, and man, that dog is getting better every day because usually it gets a little squirrely in the car. We don't do it a lot, and a lot of times when we do put him in the car, we're going to the vet, right? So he, he's got some confused messaging going on there. So we try to just put him in the car and drive around or go places if we know we're not going to go in somewhere. So we brought him to breakfast with us, and we got him an egg McMuffin. So he was in the back chomping on his egg McMuffin while we were eating our big breakfast in the car with the air conditioning going. And he didn't bark. He growled a little bit at some people, but he was good. He was really, really good. He sat. He stayed in his seat, and yeah, he's really becoming a great dog. We'll have had him for 4 years. I think is it later this month or next month or early next month we got him. He's our side of the road dog. That's what we always say. Gaslighter in chief. Aloha Art, oodles, oodles. Yeah, there's going to be oodles of doodles in that book, you guys. We got Marcus Kelligrew, hail all, and hey, my favorite person, Kevin Thompson. How are you, my friend? Hey, hey, hey. We've come to snuff the rooster. Yeah, so Oodles is going. The good thing about this book is we've already printed it. It does exist. Not this version. I mean, this version is sold out, but we got the files. The files are all put together. Like I said, I'm going to add some new pages to this, so it's not going to be exactly this version. I do want to do a variant cover, not so much a variant, but a new cover for this book. So I'm still kind of in the planning phases on that. So then there'll be a definite difference between the two versions. You know, one will have that cover on it, and then the other will have the new cover. But as for now, we're using this cover to do all the early promotion and stuff like that. I do have a sketch. I've showed it on a couple live streams for the new cover and some new characters. I call her Robot Killer Jane and Rock'em Sock'em. So it's this like cool, like armored mech chick with this robot. And so that's going to be the new cover. I think I'm going to offer, if I do it, I'm going to offer it as a stretch goal. And if we can get to that stretch goal, then we'll do the artwork and then we'll put that on the new cover or on the new book. Gosh darn. Oh, it's flowing, baby. It's flowing. And then you know what? I'm gonna get into enough of those shenanigans. I'm gonna get into the winner aspects. So there are winners and there are losers in the world, and I just want to show you guys I'm one of the winners. So you should be seeing. This is my Facebook site. But there's awards, and they're called the Inkwell, and Bob Almond puts them together. And this is these are all the people that were tagged. And this was the first annual award ceremony. So this is the first Inkwell Awards live ceremony at Heroes Con. And so this was 13 years ago. So Bob Almond said, so he just posted this yesterday, I think. Instead of posting the 7 individual picks from 13 years ago, I figured I'd combine them into one post as an Inkwell Awards memory to celebrate from today's Facebook memories as we approach our upcoming 10th live ceremony. This is 13 years ago, 10th live ceremony in 3 weeks from Saturday. So the awards are coming up, and so he's kind of getting the word out. We had tech problems launching, so there was no slideshow presentation from Ray Burke or recording for the full event. only transcript at our website. So this is basically he's kind of going over the award ceremony. So here's Bob Allman. He's an inker, and I think he's doing some great stuff for the ink community. He has these award ceremonies, and they're just for inkers. They're just for inkers. Inkers usually get looked over in the industry. They do get awards, but sometimes it's combined, like pencil inker teams, stuff like that. But not always just inker. And so the inkwells are just for that. So there's Dan Panosian. We won't spend too much time on that guy. And there's all the award recipients or future. No, I guess we already got our awards. So it's Kevin Nolan. There's Scott Hanna. There's myself looking bored out of my mind. And then I'm sorry, I don't recall who the guy on the end is on my left. But if you guys can see, look at who's got the most awards there. Look at who that is. There's 3 awards in front of RT Bear. There's 1 award in front of this guy, and there's 1 award in front of Scott Hanna. That's pretty amazing, right? Yeah, cleaned up. What a winner. Actually, that's not true. I got 1 award, and so what I did, I'm such a jerk. I thought it'd be funny, so I grabbed the other guy's awards on the table and I put them in front of me like I won all those awards. So I actually won 1 award, and I just stole those other 2. Like I said, I thought it would be funny, and if I didn't say anything, it'd look like I was a crazy winner of 3 awards. So I think the guy up at the podium is Tim Townsend, and there's Kevin Nolan. There's the Inkwell girl right there. There's Bob Allman. There's the 1 person in the crowd that was there that day. There's Scott Hanna. Look at Scott Hanna. He's so proud. I'd like to thank all the little people for this award. I've been an inker for 20 years, and no one except for RT Bear has been able to top me as far as talent and consistency. I would like to thank RT Bear and give him this award for being a better man than I. That's exactly what Scott Hanna said at this award ceremony. That's why I had 3 awards. No, it is not. Scott's a good guy, and he deserved this award. He has done so much work, and he's a good talent. I wouldn't say he's brilliant. He's good. I would say I was brilliant. I think I brought more to the industry than Scott has, but that's winner talk, you guys. That's how winners talk. All right, so this is me. I'm looking at my prepared statement. I'm reading from a prompter here. No, I'm not. I think I am. It looks like I'm holding something up. So yeah, so I was thanking all of the people that put me into power. King of all inkers, possibly king of the world here. And but no, I mean, I was pretty humble. I thanked Bob. I thanked the Inkwells. I thanked everybody in our community and all that other good stuff. It was a good time. This was the first annual, so I was really honored to get the award. And I think he says what my award was. I have it here. Hold on, let me see what it's for. It is the Props Award. I don't know what that is. I got the props. So here's this guy. I don't know what his name is. He doesn't have an award in front of him though, so maybe he was just talking about the art of inking or something. So we got that. There's Bob again. So let's see. Dan gave the Inkwell Awards keynote speech as guests of honor. Founding core committee member Tim Townsend acted as presenter of the ballot categories and read off the nominees and winners. Scott Hanna won 2 categories of favorite inker and most adaptable inker. RT Bear won the Props Award. Oh, it's Cliff Wraithborn won the Spammy. I don't know what that is. And Francis Manipool the All-in-One Awards, but neither could attend. So maybe that wasn't Cliff Wraithborn. I don't know who that guy was, the guy without any hair. And then Kevin Nolan was on hand to receive the Joe Sinnott Hall of Fame awards, and J. David Spurlock spoke on his behalf. Maybe that's the guy in the leather jacket without the hair. The other Sinnott recipient, Wallace Wood, Miss Inkwell spokesmodel for the year show was fledgling 18 years ago, Kathy, who acted as first ceremony hostess to escort all speakers and winners. This is really confusing. 18 years ago, then it said 13 years, and then it said 10 years. I don't know how long this thing has been going on, to be honest. And on the right, you can see a whoever, who I believe was at the table of door prize, first attendees, we don't need to read the rest of that. All we really need to know is that RT Bear won the props award. This guy right here. I didn't get my own picture. Well, I guess I did. It's right here. So once again, man, it's great to see people in the community doing stuff. Bob Ahman, wanted to make sure that inkers, people like that, get a spotlight, because there are a lot of people monthly that put these books together, and sometimes there are really talented people that just don't get the limelight. And inkers in the past got way more of limelight and were considered more talent. These days they're kind of getting relegated to like a back burner, along with colorists and letterers and stuff like that, like more production, or what used to be traditionally known as production. Colorists and letterers were always like production. So talent was writer, penciler, inker. But that line has kind of been blurred with inker colorists nowadays, just because the technology and colorists are bringing quite a bit to the table these days. So that's what that's all about. So yeah, this was the Inkwell Awards. Does it say the year? It says 13 years ago. Let me see what my award says. It says 2011. 2011, but this is confusing, right? 13 years ago, and then it says memories as we approach our upcoming 10th live ceremony. Well, this says 13 years ago. Wouldn't it be the 13th live ceremony, Bob Ahman? Yeah, and then it goes down here, and then it says what? How many years did it say here? Anyways, there's like 3 different years, like 5 years ago. Our first, oh, that was in Hershey. First ceremony. I thought there was another mention of years, but anyway, you guys support the Inkwell Awards. Bob Ahman pretty much puts this thing together himself, and he's a great guy. He's really looking out for us, and I think it's awesome that I was invited to the first annual. I won an award. I do appreciate that. I don't know how these ballots work. I don't know how the voting works, but somehow I got in there, and I do appreciate it. So once again, you guys, the humble person that I am, I have 3 awards right here in front of me. Pictures don't lie. So I won 3 awards, and then here I am, just being very, very humble, and telling everybody, the 3 people that were in the crowd, how amazing I am. But yeah, I hope you guys appreciated that. It was just a little fun. Like Bob posted that yesterday, I think, and I was like, maybe I'll talk about it on a live stream. So this is an inkwell right here. They're pretty cool, actually. It looks like it could be a brush, or it could be a drip of ink. I guess if it was a drip of ink, it'd go this way. If it was a brush, it'd go this way. Right, and these are pretty cool. These are nice designs, and presented to RT Bear. Yeah, they spelled my name right and everything. And also, you guys, these right here, these are awards as well. So only winners get stuff like this. So you have to be a winner to get a trophy. Unless you're a kid playing sports today, and then you can get, a participation. But I assure you, this is not a participation award. I would like to thank all the little people. So this is a Wizard fan. What is it? This is for 2001. I used to be somebody, you guys. I used to be somebody. So they don't give these things to anybody. They only give them to winners. And once again, I'm a winner. Look at this. He's got a comic book rolled up in his back pocket. There's a ton of detail here. I think Randy Bowen, is that the guy, the sculptor, does all the like statues and stuff? I think he did the sculpts for this. And also, you guys, this was taken off of me as a kid. So once again, only winners get to pose for statues. So that is my likeness when I was around 7 or 8. No, it's not. God, I'm so full of shit today. But that's what you get. Like when you're a winner, you can lie. Only winners can lie and get away with it. Oh man, we got Philip. We got Philip in the house. Philip in the hizzy. So one of the Diaz brothers. The Diaz brothers sound like hooligans, like you guys rob banks and stuff. We're the Diaz brothers. Get in the car, drive. That's what Phil says to his brother Brandon. Come on, I got the loot. Let's see. John says, hello, Hullaballoo family. Yes, we are a family. Cunto hair. I like it when you say it fast. Your lies are entertaining. Yes. Yeah, tell my wife that. And she hates it. My mom used to say, you're so full of shit, your eyes are brown. My eyes are brown. Yes. That was the household I was raised in. Now that says so much about me when my mom would say something like that. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, you guys, I think you can support the inkwells. So I don't know, maybe let me see if you could just type in Inkwell Awards, what shows up? Inkwell Awards. Okay, let's see. InkwellAwards.com official site. Please wait, preparing. Please allow button to verify you're a human. All right, I guess I'm a human. That was weird. Congratulations. What is this? Apple iPhone? This is bullshit. Bullshit. Anyways, I think I just probably got spammed and I'll have a bunch of viruses. But yeah, I think that you can make donations. I'm not sure how Bob affords to pay for all the statues and stuff like that. So I do think they take donations. Also, a lot of artists, they have like these inkwell competitions or whatever, so they'll find like these pencils. I think this past year was Walter Simonson. They've done Jim Lee, and so professionals ink those. And then I think they auction the artwork off to try to get money for the Inkwell Awards. So if you guys can support that group of people, that would be fantastic. Tell them that RT Bear sent you. So Bob Almond knows I'm a good guy. Not just a winner that takes things from the little people, but that I also contribute back. Because I'm in a place where I can give back to the little people, like all the inkwell recipients. I don't know, like, does anybody really ink anymore? I don't know who would get these awards. I don't know if inking, like traditional inking, even really exists like it used to. So that's interesting. What would you get? Like, you'd get digital inker awards or something like that. Let's see what Paula says. Now you're getting lied. Wait, now you're getting lied to by your computer. I know. Freaking a-hole. If I have a virus, I'm going to be pissed, and I'm going to blame you, Bob Almond. Yeah. So yeah, it was a good con. The Heroes Con is a good show. I've been a couple times. I haven't done a convention in years. Wow, how long has it been? I've been here in Texas 4 years. Well, it'll be 4 years this December. So 3.5 years. I haven't done a show in that amount of time. Also, I haven't done any commissions. Well, I did some commissions recently. I took them for the Black and White Volume 2 campaign, but I haven't in that amount of time. So let me think. It's it's probably been 5 years since I've done a convention. So that would be weird doing a convention again since I haven't been to one in so long. And also, you guys, I get you guys ask me to do commissions every month, and I wish I could. So anybody that's thinking that still wants a commission from me, I'm sorry that I had to kind of keep you at arm's length because the thing is, like when I'm trying to get a book done, I feel like it's not cool for me to take outside work when I still owe you a book. So when I was working on Black and White Volume 2, and I know it took a long time, and I thank you guys so much for giving me the time to do that, but I didn't take any outside work during that time because it seemed like it's a conflict of interest. And I know if I back somebody and I didn't know that they were working every day to try to get that book done and they were taking outside work, I would probably be a little upset about that. So I made sure I didn't do that, even though it was very tempting. It would be nice to have some extra revenue coming in and things like that. I just didn't do it. I just felt like it wasn't cool to do. So anybody that I put at arm's length, and I said later, I'm not taking any now. I will be offering those limited commissions on the oodles of doodles and other stuff too once we launch, once we go live. And we're going to be going live probably the end of this month, maybe middle end of this month, hopefully sooner. I should have all the website, the Indiegogo site done. I want to say today. Everything takes so much longer than I think. So I think it would be safe to say tomorrow I should have all the site ready to go, which means that all I have to do is get in front of people and to try to get you guys to sign up for that page. So that's my main goal right now. So if there's anybody that hasn't signed up for oodles of doodles and other stuff too, there is a link in the description, but I just dropped a link into the chat. So just click that real quick, go over there. I'll wait for you. Sign up real fast, come back, and we'll be done with that. I also have some really cool stuff for you guys. I'm going to show you some of the things I've been preparing for this campaign. It's going to be all about artwork. So we're not going to do like some of the book campaigns where there's a lot of like just fun stuff like stickers, bookmarks, Keshi figures, all kinds of stuff that we've like patches that we've done in the past. We're going to make it about the book. So it's going to be the book. We're going to do art prints. We're going to do the smaller ones. I guess they call them minis. And then we're going to do 11 by 17 prints. We're going to, like I said, we're going to have a lot of drawing tiers. So I'm going to draw in the book. So there's going to be a stock head sketch that's going to go in the book. So it'll go. I did it for the last campaign, and it came out awesome. So these 2 pages here, the blank pages, were done on purpose. So I'm not sure if I think I do it here on this side. So they're going to be signed and numbered. So it'll be signed and numbered over here. And then we'll have the head sketch here, and it'll fill up the page. It's a pretty good size head sketch. And we'll put it in here. And so that will be a stock head sketch. So everybody that backs that tier will get the same drawing. And then I'm thinking of doing for a little bit more because it's harder to do, but it would have to be limited. That I'll do like head sketch on demand, like whatever you guys want. So whatever character you want, I'll draw it in there, and I might limit it to 5 or 10 because this stuff takes time. And also I got Black and White Volume 3 that I'm working on, and I don't want to take too much time away from that because I really want to get a good jump on that book. And I'm doing So right now we're 5 pages into the first issue. The first 30 pages are full scripted. It's done. So the writing is halfway done, and we're 5 pages into pencils and inks on volume 3, Sins of the Father. So that's an update there. And then I'm going to offer head sketches again. Those are like my ones I do on the Bristol board here. So I do them on this. So this is kind of like artboard, like the comic book artboard. So it's thick, and so I might do 5 to 10 of those as well, and that'll be any character you want. I'm not going to do like create your own. Like I'm not going to do like your characters. It's a little tougher, and sometimes you guys use them to promote your stuff with, and if I did that, I would charge you more. So that's why I don't do it, because if you're going to use it to promote your book or whatever, then I feel I should get paid more for that. So I just find it easier not to do. I've done that in the past and regretted it, because sometimes also you could be associated with, and this is nothing against anybody, but some really bad campaigns, and sometimes campaigns that don't fund. And so I don't want to really be associated with that stuff. Once again, I want to be a winner. You don't want to be associated with losers. So there's that, and then there's the 11 by 17 commissions, which I'll probably do 2 to 3 of those. So those are full on comic book like cover quality. So these are like full on, illustration stuff like that. They're not what I would call a doodle. They're full on illustrations. Like the others are kind of more doodles, even though I really think they're cool. Like all the brush and wash stuff I do. I like that look. I think you guys too, because you asked me to draw for you a lot. So there's that. So there's going to be a lot of, like I said, I want it to be about art. So I want it to be about, the book, things associated with the book, prints, and then original art that I can generate for you guys. And then the thing is, if I do a new cover, then I'll sell that new cover as well. So that will be available for you. But like I said, I'm only going to do that as a stretch goal. And so I kind of want to keep it humble at first. So if we can get it to a certain point, then I feel like I can add stuff to it, because Pamela's my wife. She's my partner in crime on all this Hack Shack stuff, all the publishing and things like that, running the studio. And so we're gonna keep it close to the vest when we originally launch. We'll see how it does. And then especially her, she's got all kinds of cool stuff that she wants to do. She really likes the stretch goals. She likes giving you guys stuff. So she's got all kinds of cool ideas for that. So we'll see how it goes. One of the things about these Indiegogo live campaigns is they kind of can take on their own life, So you have an idea of how you're going to launch it, and then maybe an idea how you can build the campaign as you go. It's very organic. So we're thinking about that as well. So like I said, start off humble, see how it does. If it does real well, then we can build, we could build this book huge. I got a ton of artwork I could put in this book. So we can build this book crazy together. And then, well, as long as it works within that $40, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a $40 book. So as long as it works within those parameters, because printing costs and stuff like that. Like I said, there's a lot of components to these things. So every time you make a decision here, you got to see have to see if it makes financial sense later. So there's a lot of moving parts. Let me see. We got Chris. Chris, welcome to Morning Hullaballoo. Maycock, Morning Artsy Bear and Friends. Ooh, I like that. It does sound like a morning show when it's like Artsy Bear and Friends. Let me see what Paula says. All completely understandable concerns. Yeah, and I just like talking about this stuff with you guys, because also, I get feedback. So this is like market research here, like talking about these campaigns with you guys. You give me yays, nays, let me know what's a good idea, what's a bad idea. So I do really, really appreciate it. And once again, I always have to say this. The only reason I'm here right this very minute and even thinking about putting these books out is because of you guys, your support. I've never, God, I say this all the time, and I don't mean to sound like a one-trick pony, or just like I'm harping on it, or I'm like overly trying to like kiss your butt. But I've worked in this business for 40 years. I've never seen anything like this before. This CG, this indie movement, all of this stuff, it's absolutely fantastic. It wasn't available to us years ago because there was no YouTube. I mean, I've been doing this stuff so long. I have been doing comics before the invention of Federal Express. I've been doing comics before the internet. Like I remember like going to the post office and packing boxes with the brown paper and everything, and then going to the post office and having them weigh it and then paying them there, and then sending a voucher to DC or Marvel to get reimbursed for the shipping. When Federal Express happened, oh my gosh, it changed my life. I was so happy. One, I could just call and they could come pick it up, and it didn't cost me upfront money. So, like Marvel and DC, they had accounts, so it was, for me, it was free. I never had to pay for anything, so that was always good. John says he's excited. Cool. I'm glad. I try to. I don't want to overly hype, but I have to hype a little bit, about this stuff, and everything that I do these days is stuff that excites me. So when I was working at Marvel, DC, even at times at Image Comics, there are jobs and stuff that you take that you maybe didn't want to, but you had to feed your family, to pay the mortgage. You had to do certain things to make ends meet, and so I'm real fortunate at this point in time that I don't, at least my mindset isn't that. I mean, I still have financial concerns and I have those things. So don't get me wrong. I don't have like billions of dollars to pull from, but I do feel like I can do things more from the heart. I can do things that I want. And as long as you guys approve and you support these things, then I can continue. And, this is a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity, and having the perspective I have, I do not every day, like I get in front of you guys, I get this camera on, I'm like, yes, this is a good day, hanging out with you guys, and being able to dream, just the opportunity to think outside of the box instead of thinking day to day, like just getting this deadline done. I can start thinking about like this project or that project, things that really excite me. And I'm so fortunate, especially at my age, 40 years doing this. I'm 62 now. I feel like I paid my dues. I got 40 years logged in, and this is pretty much what I've always wanted to do. I always wanted to be a creator, like basically independent. I wasn't one of those guys that was like, oh yeah, Marvel, DC. I always wanted to draw Spider-Man or Batman. It's not that I didn't want that, but that was like more of like when I was young, when I was a little kid. But as I got older, I kind of wanted to create things like whole cloth. I wanted to write stories. I wanted to create characters. I wanted to create universes and things like that. And so now I have the opportunity, and the financial part of it makes sense. And that's always been the problem, is you can't just launch projects like even Image Comics, like outside of like in the day in the mid 90s. Financially it made sense, but when the market started crashing after that, it didn't make sense anymore. It was tough, and a lot of people didn't make money. And so I went back to Marvel to get a secured paycheck. And also we had just had our little daughter, Amanda, and I wanted to make sure that I could take care of her. And so you go for the sure things. So then that dream kind of went away. And so then after Image, I just kept like holding on to that dream. And a few years later, probably a decade or so later, I published a chronomechanics through Image as a graphic novel, and it broke even, but I didn't make any money. So then I realized that unless I was going to finance this stuff and I was willing to take a complete financial loss, I can't do this. So I kept a hold of the dream and everything. And then Zach, your boy, I forget the book that he put out with John Malin, and all of a sudden, boom, wow, there were numbers. Ethan Van Sciver, Cyberfrog, there were numbers. John Malin, Graveyard Shift, there were numbers. It made sense, to me. And like even back up, like I tried to publish with Alias, which was Mike Miller, his publishing company, and so I've tried throughout my career to do these things. There was a hold on. There was a martial arts company called Budum or something like that, and they wanted to invest in a publishing company, and so they sought me out, and we tried to put a publishing company together. So they were going to be the financial aspects and maybe create some characters, and then we were going to create a publishing division, and I would publish my books, they would do theirs. But what happened is they were very, very controlling, very, very controlling. And then it became more apparent as time went that they didn't have as much money as they let on. And so I just pulled away from them. And they were trying to dictate terms about how to publish and how to do this, that, and the other thing. And they had absolutely no idea what they were talking about. And so I felt like, why am I here? Like, why did you bring me into it if you weren't going to use my expertise and you weren't going to listen to me and you were just going to do your own thing anyway? You know what I mean? It didn't make any sense to me. So I just pulled out of it. And I think what became apparent is we would go out, you go out for these meetings, you go to a restaurant or whatever, and they'd have their crew, and then I would be there, and then Pamela would be with me, and they wouldn't pick up the tab. Everybody paid for their own food. And I was thinking, it's a class move if you're trying to start a business and you want to woo people, just pick up the tab. It's like it's a winner move, right? That's what winners do. And they didn't. And then they didn't even really order stuff. They would order a drink or something like that, but they wouldn't order meals. And then I was like, I don't think these guys have any money. So they were giving me slide presentations and all this stuff, but it was all smoke and mirrors. And so, I had a lot of hopes and to try to do this independent thing. And so, like I said, now with Comicsgate, all this stuff, you guys, it makes financial sense. And also these platforms like Indiegogo, Kickstarter, things like that. So it's kind of a culmination of all these different things that came together at the same time. All right, let's see. Sheldon Martin, good morning, my friend. I heard you need some coffee. Art has been making comics since he had to show people how to hunt with cave drawings. Yeah, I mean, you have to have some precision because those people were stupid. So you really, those drawings had to be accurate. So if you were drawing a bison, it had to look like a bison. If it was a spear, you had to make it look like a spear, because these people, they could not suspend any disbelief on it. So so I learned early to draw and to draw well, because those cave people is really stupid, really, really stupid. So I was drawing for the lowest common denominator. Let's just say that. I'm looking at the new Witchblade cover. They ruined the character with the full body suit. What's the point? Well, everything's PC. Everything's PC culture. So also, I just think that the industry itself doesn't really understand the clientele. So they don't understand that, young boys like to see sexy women. You know what I mean? I mean, a tight bodysuit, it's pretty sexy. But, when you got a character like Witchblade, who's basically, she's got a bikini on and some panties, uh, and then you fully clothe her, it's like, well, what's the point? It would be like, the thing is, this is how ridiculous it is. Could you see Tarzan with a full bodysuit? You know what I mean? Like, it seems ridiculous then, now doesn't it? To take, well, the loincloth, I find that offensive. That's exploiting the male physique. Like, we can't do that. Let's cover Tarzan up with, a bodysuit, because we need to be more respectful to this imaginary character that doesn't exist, and people that it might offend that don't even buy the fucking book. Like, what's the point? I am sorry, man. Like, we live in Clownville, man. Everything is just BS. I still, oh my God, it is endless at the T-Bear household. Every day we talk about the absurdity of this world right now. Like, it was always absurd, don't get me wrong, but man, there are things that are like, it's like they're trying their best. They, as in SJWs or progressives or whatever you want to call them, they're trying so hard to go outside the box to F shit up. You know what I mean? Like they could not be trying harder to mess everything up. Let's see. Past Master, Hell Chat, a little late. Had to get groceries. Hit that like. Yes, you guys, please hit the like button. Tweet this out if you could. Get some more eyes on it. I got some stuff from the campaign. I'm going to show off some artwork, so I'm going to tease you with that. So it's going to be good. Also, Past Master, I hope your brother's better. I hope he's doing good. And a trip to the grocery, like, man, I'm telling you, it's riskier and tougher every freaking day. Prices are going up. Like, what do they think everybody's made out of? Money? Well, we're not. We are with you, Art. Thank you, John. I do appreciate that, and I'm right back at you. Let's see. Art was the greatest hunter of his day. Um, I I I I was okay. I was an okay hunter, but you know what? Being the head of the tribe, because I was an idea man. You know what I mean? Like, I my brain was a little bit more developed than the majority, right? So, we didn't really have written language yet, and we didn't have verbal. So a lot of it was the drawings. So I feel like that was my contribution. It wasn't so much hunting and gathering. It was more just like the ideas. So I could pitch these guys the ideas. If I could get my point across to them, then they could go out in the field and they could execute it. So that was kind of my role in the cave. And also, I kind of stayed behind in the cave with the ladies. It was just a better time. Just a better time. Don't draw bad. Don't draw bad. RT Bear. Don't draw bad. I got you. I reject PC culture. There was a part of me that wanted to be respectful to everybody, right? And then there's people that force the respect. Like, you need to respect me. You need to respect my pronouns. You need to respect my gender, whatever. Well, no, I don't. I don't have to. All I have to do is treat you with some amount of respect, right? I don't have to like you. I don't have to like your lifestyle. I don't have to like anything you say. I don't have to. So you should shut your mouth, because I don't have to accept you for who you are or what you are. All I have to do is not disrespect you. If I see you on the street, don't kick you, don't hit you, don't spit on you, don't try to hurt you. Just let it be. Just let things be. And that's fine. But you guys are crossing. You guys are crossing over. You guys are like forcing it on people. And also, there's this new marketing thing. It's like, this is what you deserve. Like, have you guys noticed? Like marketing, it's like, you deserve this. You deserve a college education. You deserve a home. You deserve high-speed internet. I deserve it? That's never been the case. You work for it. You work hard for it so you can afford it. That's how you get it. You don't deserve it. Like, deserve sounds like it's your birthright, right? You're born and then you're supposed to get high-speed internet. That's part of the deal. That's not part of the deal. You have to work for it. You have to pay for it. And if you can pay more, then you can get better high-speed internet than other people. Like, that's the way it is. Is it fair? No, life is not fair. There are idiots that think life is fair. Life is not fair. It never was. Anatomy, son, I discovered the skeleton, RT Bear. I discovered the skeleton. Here's one of my my discoveries right here. So it's a mini me. Let me see. Hello. So yeah, truth over feelings. Yeah, logic, reason. Yeah, all that stuff. Jolly Green, welcome to the chat. Art, when does your next project launch? Well, the Oodles, the sign-up page is active now. So I'll drop a link into the chat here. There's also a link in the description. So click that link. It's right here. And go sign up real quick. I'll wait for you. Let me see. I'll go back to Jolly Green. And we're looking probably towards the end of this month, we're going to go live. So I know things are tight right now. Past Master was talking about going to the supermarket. Hey, I'm in the same boat. Things are tight. So support these projects as much as you can. We do appreciate it because that's how we feed ourselves and our family as well. So I wish our government could get their shit together. That would be nice. But we're going to make it. We're going to get through this, and we're going to make it all work for us. Again, Polisart says they use feminine, gay colors on the background and title logos, all female creative team. Who thinks women and girls will read it? Oh, are you talking about Witchblade? I don't know, man. This is the thing. I believe just like that you deserve it. I think marketing-wise, they think this is the way to market things. I think progressives think that these things are successful marketing tools. They're really not. Like even wasn't there what is the lingerie company with the angels with the wings? Like they did all this sexy stuff, right? And then they were like, well, we're going to be progressive, we're going to be woke, and we're going to start getting average women in here and blah blah blah. And their sales went down. And so then they went back to the business model that they used before. Because the thing is, this is the way I look at it. It's not sexist. It's not any of those things. There's things that are mundane. There are things you see every day, right? You see average people. You see really skinny people. You see ugly people. You see fat people, right? Just average people every day, right? In your ads, in your magazines, in your comic books, in TV and film, you don't want to see average. You want to see above average because it's a fantasy. It's not real. So you can look at these shows and go, oh, well, there's a lot of good-looking people. Well, yeah, because that's what they figured most people want to see. People don't want to go to a movie for 2 hours and see ugly people. They want to see good-looking people. They want aesthetics. That's what they want. They want to see places that they'll maybe never go. They want to see lifestyles that they'll never experience. Things like that. That's what people want. Even the rags to riches stories are like, we'll show you the rags, but then we're going to give you this heightened stuff, right? So that's always what it was about. But now it's about just being mundane, being yourself, reflecting in the business of who you are. Well, that's retarded. That's stupid, because there's so many different people. Who are those people, right? We're gonna go and we're gonna placate transgender people, but there's this whole other group of people that you're not placating. You're not representing. So when you start going, well, I'm going to represent this group of people, it usually, the way they do it, it excludes these other people. Saying it out loud, it doesn't make any sense. But there are people, and I don't understand why, because I don't think there's any real metrics or templates that show that it works. Like, there are no businesses that are excelling with this woke stuff. There are no businesses that are just like, product is flying off the shelf because they're putting the rainbow flag on it, or any of these things. These are not real sound business moves. They are good for woke points. They're good for virtue signal points. They can feel good about themselves, like they're helping out this group of people, or they're representing them. Okay, that's fine, but it's not reflecting in numbers. Because if it's toilet paper and it's a good product, whether it has the rainbow flag on it or not, who cares, right? It's not a selling point. It's a virtue signal. It's different currency. It's not financial currency. It's a cheap way of making people think you're a good person, without too much energy spent. We're back on the Tarzan stuff. Loincloth, I find that offensive. Take it off. I thought that was a funny analogy. I'm glad you agree, Sheldon Martin. See, that's what winners do. Winners talk like that. Not like the offensive talk. That's not. That's not. But I don't know. Does anybody really want to see Tarzan's junk? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Ouch is the word. Oh, about, yeah, going to the supermarket. Yeah. $40 for these plastic bags I carry in one hand. Yeah, well, dude, can you imagine? I don't know how big your family is, but can you imagine having, like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 kids, wife, husband? Man, you're probably spending, like, weekly $150 at least, and that's probably just bare essentials. That's not like a lot of, meats and expensive, food. It's probably just the bare essentials. Logic's Finest says, my wife isn't my wife anymore. She's my birthing person, and don't assume she's my wife, because that's misgendering me, you hateful bigot. My gosh, doesn't that gives you a headache? Like, these people don't understand. This is like, that's a clusterfuck. That's just insanity. Those people used to, not get locked up, but they usually, we try to get them help, like some kind of psychological help. That's nutty. Okay, let's see what Joe Bernardo says. Art does the stupidity of the broke woke SJWs need to understand this. Love the USA, love it or leave it. Take your pronouns and alphabet to another country. Yeah, the thing is, there's 2 rules of thought. Okay, like, if you really don't like this country, and you feel like going to Africa or going to China to Canada to Mexico, wherever it is that you think has a better society, you can travel. You can become a citizen of those countries. So I don't understand somebody like what was her name, like Whoopi, like if President Trump, or if Trump becomes president, I'm leaving the country, right? Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to hold it against you. That's fine. You drew your line in the sand, and you made a bold statement, and you said this. And so if this country you find so repulsive because of this man that's the president, that you feel you can't stay here, well then go. Nobody's stopping you, especially somebody like that she has opportunity because she's got some money. So she could live anywhere in the world and she could do relatively well. So go. Nobody's stopping you. But then there's the other rule of thumb. You stay, and then you try to change the system from within, right? So you're an American, you throw some tea in the harbor, you protest, and you try to affect change. Okay, that's cool. But if you make a bold statement, you draw, a line in the sand, you say, if this happens, I'm out of here, then go. If you say that America has nothing to offer you anymore and that you find it repulsive, then go. If you're going to stay here and you're going to try to change things, then don't talk like I'm going to leave. Don't talk like that, because you look like an idiot, especially if you don't leave. So, yeah, I mean, there is some truth into that love it or leave it kind of thing. So Logic's Finest says comics audience was 80% men. Telling 80% of your audience they're bad and catering to 5% of the population doesn't make business sense. Why don't they create new gay or trans characters? They did it in the past. Nothing was stopping them before. Like if it is a marginalized or a minority, right? I mean, minority is kind of like a bad word today. It just means there's less of that population than another group of people. Like when I lived in California, Mexicans were the majority. Like they don't talk like that. Like the majority of people that live in California, especially Southern California, are Mexicans. So white people really aren't even the majority, yet they act like they are. So then you go, well, why do Mexicans get thrown into the minority category? It's just not true, especially in that region of the country. So it's weird. You can say like, well, they're not doing as well as a population, as a group. You can say those things, but they don't want to say those things because it's hurtful. But yeah, like, why do you placate the smallest group? Especially like what they're doing is it's not just they're placating that group, but they're telling the other group that they're bad. I don't really understand any of that. So and it's also dangerous when politically they do it, because if you want a civil war and you want people at each other's throats, this is exactly how you do it, right? So I'm not the only one that said it seems like all fingers point in one direction, and that's possibly civil war. If we can't be civil and we can't work things out between us, the people that have difference in opinions, then there's only one thing left, and that's force. You gotta beat sense into somebody else to get them to see the truth. And if that has to happen, then that's what's going to happen. My internet costs an insane amount. Everything does. Everything does. But you know what doesn't cost you anything? Signing up for Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. It will be going live at the end of the month. This is my new art book, and it is going to be fan-freaking-tastic. So right now, you guys click this link, go over, sign up, and I'll wait for you. Kevin Thompson, my favorite person. Art draws great skulls. Hell yeah. Thank you, my friend. John says, mega maga. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Past Master Dan. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I do have an original art site, so you can pick up some of my original 11 by 17s on that site. Yeah, bite them, embarrassed us again. What else do you expect? It's weird because my wife listens to a lot of these news programs, and so yesterday it started off with like Biden did this, Biden did that. They're talking about how old he is and faux pas and all this other stuff. It's like, how much more are we going to talk about this stuff? You know what I mean? Like this is an endless conversation that never resolves anything. Like the Democrats and Biden just keep doing the crazy ass shit. There's no real pushback, no pushback that actually does any real good, and they just keep moving their agenda forward and forward without any concern for anybody else. So like this is the way I look at things, you guys, and I know I'm a strange dude, but I try to go through all the bullshit and I try to get down to what really is going on, right? So let's take Joe Biden, let's take Kamala Harris, let's take AOC, let's take I forget the woman, the Speaker of the House that just stepped down, like all these people that are so like anti Republican, right? I mean, they're so progressive. There's only one way of looking at things, right? So they go, and I've heard, God, I wish I could remember her name. Her husband got beat up in San Francisco. You probably know what I'm talking about anyway. So these people have so much contempt, and they're open about it. They say our side, our side. They say our people. They say things like Democrats, like everything they tailor is to a group of people, right? The Democrats, the people that believe the same way we do. We're working for them, right? They wear it right on their sleeves, right? They say, we're working for them. This is our agenda, right? It's not the country's agenda. It's a group of people's agenda. Special interest, if you will, agenda. It is not the American people as a whole, right? So these people openly say they only represent one side. They don't represent the whole country, right? So just like comics, just like all this other stuff, they draw a line in the sand. They say, this is what we are, F everybody else, right? They say that in their own words. Multiple times these people have said this, right? Well, I thought you represent the country. I thought you represent we the people. We the people are everybody. It's people who disagree with you, and it's people who agree with you. And it's all the in between. You represent the frickin' country, the United States of America. That's who you represent. You don't represent your party. That's just part of it. But that should not be the main focus. And that's what it is now. It's the main focus. Be damned the rest of the country, right? That's how they talk. We don't care. MAGA Republicans, bunch of frickin' Hitler, democracy hating lunatics, whatever they want to call people, that are on that side. That's what they do, right? They make them out to be like evil people. So then everybody can hate them, right? They want to turn everybody against them. Okay, fine. You want to play this? Fine. But I'll tell you, as a taxpayer in this country, then my money shouldn't go to you. You'll cash my check. You'll cash my check that pays your salary, that runs your agenda, that does all those stuff. I thought it was we the people. I thought I had something to say about it. Well, you're not representing me anymore. By your own words, you don't represent me. You don't represent half the country. Okay? Well, then you shouldn't be accepting half the country's money. You should not be getting a dime from any Republican or any MAGA Republican or whatever it is that you say you don't represent. If you don't represent it, then you're not doing the job for those people. Then you shouldn't get paid. It's that simple. They shouldn't get paid. Biden's salary should be cut in half. All that support money for it should be cut in half because you don't represent, you're not doing your job. You're doing half your job, you know, and you're doing a shitty job at that. You know what I mean? So why should I pay you? Why should you have access to my money? You're not representing me. Why should I support your agenda when I'm not included in your schemes? It's that simple. So, but nobody talks like that. You know, everything just kind of keeps going, you know. So just based on that, you're a fraud. Just based on that, you're not doing your job. You know, all those other things aside, everything else aside, you're too old, you're this, that, the other thing. You shouldn't have that job because you're not doing your job. Your job is to represent 100% of Americans, not a group of Americans that agree with you. That's it. I'll get down off my my soapbox. You see average, fat, ugly people every day, especially when you look in the mirror. RT Bear. I don't know. I think I'm fairly average. I'm probably like maybe, especially when I was younger, I think like I'm a slight notch above average. Dude, I've had some killer girlfriends. I married a hot lady. So so the proof's in the pudding. I'm a business major and this isn't good business. It's behavior modification. Exactly. They're grooming a new generation to do what they want. It's a mad run for power. So it's not paying off in the here and now, but they're hoping it will pay off down the line. You know, so they'll have they won't have our generation. Our generation sees the strings. Our generation sees what's going on, but younger generation, they don't. And you know, if you can have these pandemics, you can shut down at any time, and then you have a younger group that doesn't really know what freedom is. You know, they're afraid of everything. They're afraid of their own shadow. They're easily groomed. They're easily manipulated. All those things. Well, then that's why everything that's happening is happening right now, because they're grooming a new generation of people that won't fight for their freedom. It's that simple. You're making a play for freedom of speech, a right to bear arms, all these fundamentals. You take those things out of the equation, then you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want. So Logic's Fine says, beautiful, busty women sell lingerie. Fat, ugly women don't. Dread it. Run from it. Bankruptcy arrives all the same. Yep. God, what is that company called? Spambot says, not a lot of people paying top dollar to look like an average Joe. There you go. There you go. This everybody listening, this is logic. Oh, you guys, I'm sorry I even said that. I thought it was clever. Maybe Tarzan is transitioning. Yeah, maybe he wants to show that his junk isn't there anymore. He's proud of the fact that he's got a VJ, a vagina. Yeah, yeah. It's crazy, man. I keep saying that it seems like things need to change, right? Like they're we had to have clearly hit the wall. So now it's a time to course correct. but I don't see our leaders, I don't see any indication really of that course correction. I see some places that are adjusting some, we got this meal deal, or we got lower prices on this, that, or the other thing. And you're starting to see more of that, which is good, but how long are those, like, how long are businesses going to be able to absorb this, when their costs are higher too? When California says you have to pay your workers, $20 an hour, and then McDonald's, rightly so, threatens to leave the state. It could be a bluff, it might not be, but I applaud them. Screw you, Gavin Newsom. You have no right to tell us how to run our business. If somebody doesn't want to work for the wage that we offer, they don't have to. They could clearly go somewhere else and make more if they want. They can do other types of work, right? This isn't a dictatorship. You don't have to do those. And usually people that work those have no work experience at all. So it's a way of gaining work experience. So the employer is taking a chance on new people. And we've all worked those jobs. We've seen people come and go with those jobs like that, man. People work a day, they can't hack it, they leave, they work a week, whatever, or they're clearly messing things up and they can't work, so they get fired. Like, this stuff doesn't work a lot. So I've employed people in the past. So you have to think like an employer as well. So let's just use McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, whatever. Any minimum wage, entry-level job. They're taking a chance on these kids, right? They have no work experience. They have no resume. So they can't look at a resume and go, oh, you worked here for 5 years, you've done this, you've done that. So then they can make a calculated risk, like, well, I think this guy's good. Or they can call, what do you have those, like, examples, like people you can call to verify that you're a good employee, or something like that. You don't have that. You don't have any work experience. So they are taking a chance. So why should they pay top dollar for an inexperienced worker? Just worker in general, just a worker, not a person that can, I don't know, work a register, flip a burger, take inventory, do whatever the job requires. The employer has no way of knowing what that person is capable of, right? So they're taking a big risk. They're taking a big chance. So why would they pay top dollar for somebody that clearly has no experience? Like, you pay more money for people that do have experience. So if you're still working a minimum wage job and you've been there for 10 years, I would say that's on you. It's not on the employer. It's like, if you're still working at one of these places and you're 30, well, at some point you have to go, it's on me. You can't expect that place to pay you more when that's not what it's structured to do. Like, you can get into management programs, you can do that, and you can kind of work your way up the ladder, but you can't stay where you're at and expect to get paid more. There are cost of living, all those things, but this is a minimum. My mom said, when I was younger, she said minimum wage when she was a kid was the minimum you could make to get by on life. And I thought that made a lot of sense. But whether it was that originally or it's not, like, whether it is, like, today it means something completely different, or whatever, it isn't the minimum, because there's all these variables. Like even if you raise minimum wage to $20 an hour and you live in California, the cost of living is so high, even though you got a raise, you still can't make ends meet. You're still below that line. So what the hell good does it even do? Oh, it's a start. It's a start. It's a start where now the place that was employing people can't employ people. They're looking at robots. They're looking at self-serve, like you go up there and you order your own food, or you check out your own groceries, or you do whatever. They're looking at all these other things. I heard that even these fast food drive-throughs are looking at, you know how we have like what do they call those people that answer the phone and they live in other countries, obviously like India, stuff like that, because they have heavy accents. I hate that because sometimes it's really hard to understand and you're trying to work out major problems, but it's cheaper for the business to do that, right? So I heard these restaurants are going to get their fast food divisions, or the drive-through divisions, I should say, or jobs. They're going to give those to India. Those people are going to start taking your order, cash or charge. What would you like to order? We got hot apple pies. Like all that stuff is going to be like coming from India because they can't. Do you think this is something that these places want to do? Like there's people that go, well, McDonald's is a major corporation, they could absorb it. No, these are franchises. These are like people like us that bought into a franchise that own and operate. They're working on margins, like small margins. They're not getting rich. They might be doing better than some, but they're still probably upper middle class or slightly higher, but not much. I've known people in my lifetime that have owned Burger King franchise. They were fairly well off. They weren't rich. So who are you saying? Oh, McDonald's can absorb it? No, it's these people. Like there are some McDonald's that are pure McDonald's, like it's a corporate, it's owned by McDonald's, all that stuff. But most of it is franchise. And also, I heard that McDonald's makes most of their money. They own the land. So it's real estate. So McDonald's owns the land. So when you buy into a McDonald's franchise, you're basically just leasing the facility. You don't own it. So you're paying a leasing fee or whatever it is to run the place. And then you make the profits, or you have to pay X amount of profits to your corporate overlord. So it's not what people think. So when people talk about, oh, it's a rich company, they can absorb it, it's not exactly that. So it's just, government needs to stay out of this. Government should not regulate these things. Businesses should regulate. If there's a problem with wages and stuff, it should be taken care of between the employees and the company. And if you can't get a raise at the company that you work for, you can't justify a raise. I've had to do those things. It's not easy, right? In comic books, they don't automatically give you a raise. You have to ask for one. You talk about hat in hand being humble. You have to ask for more money. There isn't any kind of like, oh, well, you've been here for 5 years, you get an automatic raise, or you get cost of living every year or whatever. It doesn't work like that. So if you never asked for a raise and you've been working in the comics industry for 20 years, you could be making the money that you started at 20 years prior. That's just the reality of it. So you have to ask. And the thing is, if they don't pay it, then you have to figure out, is it still worth it to do this job for this little amount, or do I shop around? And thank goodness, when I was working in comics, there was Marvel and DC. So then you go, I'm going to go over to Marvel if I'm working at DC, and I'm going to see what they have to offer. And so then you do some prestige projects there. And then while you always have to do these when you're at the top of your game, then you go over to DC and you go, this is what Marvel's paying me. You want me to do, one of your killer projects? Well, then you're going to have to pay me more. That's how you keep moving up the ladder. But you have to have something to offer. You have to have something to negotiate with. And if you're a minimum wage worker and you're a year into it and you decide you need to make more money, you have very little to negotiate with. Like that's between you and the manager. And if you really made a good impression on the manager, and you were there every day, you picked up double shifts, you did all this stuff, then the manager might go, "You're worth it. I'll pay you a little bit more." You know what I mean? Like that's how these things work. Uh, we're still talking about Tarzan and she-males. Let me see. Pastmaster says, I've abandoned the two-party system, constitutionally conservative. What is that? Conservative. Constitutionally conservative. Yeah, I would. This is how I'm registered Democrat. Don't hold that against me. I would never say I'm a Democrat at this moment in time. I'm definitely more right-leaning. I would consider myself a Republican at this moment in time, but I've always voted for who I thought was the best. So I never really just went for like, oh, I'm a Democrat, so I have to vote Democratic, or Republican, I'm going to vote Republican. I always tried to vote my conscience and who I thought was going to do the best for the greater good of this country. Not always correct. Made some bad calls. I voted Obama in the first term of office, but I learned that person is very divisive. He was playing the race card instead of bringing this country together, which I was hoping would be the fact of the matter. We finally have, a African American or Black or whatever they're calling themselves these days. I can't keep up with it. Then we can finally go, well, we have a Black president. Wash our hands, move forward. Is racism still going to exist? Of course. There's always going to be people races. Black, white, Mexican, Asian, whatever, male, female. There's still going to be that. It's always going to exist. But as far as that one chapter, I think we can close the book on it. But that's not what happened, man. It got worse. Things got worse. And then I was like, no, you're a lousy president. And I voted the opposite when he went up again. I wish he wouldn't have won. Sheldon Martin, how many people actually leave because someone they don't like becomes president? I don't think anybody has. Pastmaster says the ones threatening to leave are afraid of prosecution. No one name on that Epstein list has been arrested. Yeah. Logic's finest. Whoopi won't leave. Same way she didn't leave Twitter, and Alyssa Milano didn't sell her Tesla. Virtue signal to the end. I ignore them all. Yes, that's exactly what we should do. Ignore them all. Logic's finest. The only person on Epstein's list who ever saw the inside of a courtroom was Epstein himself. I'll let that sink in. Rant over. Exactly. Oh, you guys, I have a pre-launch sign-up page. It's called Oodles of Doodles. This is my art book, and you can click this link that Pastmaster Dan nicely, generously of his time, his energy, thought, put this great link in here for you guys to click. So go click it and sign up and come right back. So thank you, Pastmaster. I do appreciate that. And please give this a like if there's some new people in the chat here. I grew up where if I disagreed with my friend or someone, then we agreed to disagree. But the radical left just want to destroy you and can't stand you if you disagree. Why? Because they're spoiled little frickin' babies. Like they're convinced that, I mean, early on, there was that saying, it's like, be on the right side of history. I had people say that to me, when I joined Comicsgate or, helped build this thing. Like I had people say that. And I was like, what does that even mean? History, only time will dictate whether you're right or wrong. You can't judge history in this moment in time. You can't be on the right side of history. How do you know you're on the right side of history? Well, I don't think you're on the right side of history. I think you're on the wrong side of history. So, like you said, Joe, agree to disagree at that moment in time. So you've convinced yourself. But the thing is, there's an ego involved. They are completely convinced that they are right and everybody else is wrong. And then they make it even more grandiose, where they say, this is for the country, or this is to save the environment, or this, like, it's always these grandiose ideas, like, you vote Trump in, democracy dies. Dudes, you're the biggest hypocrites of all. You're the one that's killing democracy, not Donald Trump. Like, also, you're saying these things. Donald Trump isn't even the president right now. Like, for the last 4 years, it's been Joe Biden. You know, how do you even say, like, Donald Trump, is killing democracy? He's not even the president. This is so absurd. It's so crazy. Yes, exactly. Has to be options. No such thing as one choice except in a dictatorship. Yeah, we live in a free country. Opinions. Oh, yeah, Nancy Pelosi is the name. How could I forget Scary Pelosi? It's evil. She is evil, pure evil. Um, yeah, like, freedom of choice means that there are going to be choices that you wouldn't make. There are decisions that you wouldn't. There are things that people will do that you don't like, but you learn to live with it, right? So you just kind of move on. And the thing is, most people are kind of wired similar. So there's probably more things that you agree upon than you disagree upon. So we also used to know that, like, you could be somebody, you could have a friend that's into comic books, right? Loves everything that you love, but one difference: they're a Democrat and you're a Republican, or you believe in God and they don't, or whatever it is. So if your friend's fair, you can have conversations, right? And then if you can't come to some kind of terms, you just say agree to disagree, and then you move on, right? You don't take it personal, because you realize that person's a good person. You realize that you like hanging out with them. You realize that things that they're into, you're into, you know so there's no harm, no foul. There's one thing. So you're going to let everything die over that? Pamela's had friends that she had since she was in college that have made a stand against her and said that you're dead to me. Like, they walked away from the friendship that they've had for 40, 50 years. I've had friends that I've known since I was 7 years old that have made distinctions. I've had people that I worked with in this business for 40 years that have said, oh, well, if you're a Trump supporter, we can't be your friend. One thing: for 40 years, everything was fine. One thing: you decided you were 100% correct, and that you were so correct that you were going to condemn me for that. Even though we have all these other things in common, that one thing defines somebody 100%. That's not fair. That's not equitable. That's none of those things they preach. That's not tolerance. That's exactly the opposite. Sheldon says, I would never admit if I got beat up in San Francisco. All my friends would make fun of me losing to some fruity guy. I don't know. Some of those fruity guys are pretty freaking big. Like, they're not all like these, like, like, what do they call them? Like have like female attributes. Some of those guys, like, they're sports guys. They work out. They're athletes. Like, being gay isn't just like one type of person. There's all kinds of different gay people. If it's one of those kind of more feminine gay guys, and that guy beats you up, then yeah, that is pretty sad. In a republic, 51% is good enough. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Past Master, you are on fire today. Demand drives a free market, force kills it. Yeah. Um, and a free market, I don't care what these people, they go, well, capitalism is the free market. Like it's goods and services, for whatever payment is agreed upon, right? So you could have, um, I have a product, right? And it might be a little bit overpriced, but it's really good. So then people still want to buy it. It could be a really high price, but be a bad product. People find out it's a bad product and stop buying it, or it's a good product and people buy a lot of it, and then you make your money by just sheer volume. So the thing is, if it's a bad product or it's overpriced, the free market won't tolerate it. They won't get business. Or if they do, it might be a smaller business. So then whoever's running that business has to go, this is our niche, right? And we're going to stay in that lane. But if you want to be more universal and you want to be more accepted by more people, then you get forced to fair price the best product you can make. So if you have a good product at a good fair price, then you will buy it, you will support that, and therefore you're voting with your dollar, right? So you support those things that support you. You support those things that do good by you. That's freedom. You're voting every day you spend a dollar. You're voting on what is worthy and what is not worthy. So we don't really think about it in those terms, but in reality, that is. So what is more fair than that? You know what I mean? But if you dictate or you force, like Past Master says, then that person that's making that product can get away with anything. So when the government stepped in and said insurance is mandatory, right? Well, guess what? The freedom of choice was taken out of the equation. There's an illusion of choice, right? There's a bunch of different insurance companies, but you have to have the product. So therefore, they still can dictate terms because you have to have it. If you didn't have to have it, guess what? Price of insurance would go down because they would have to compete for your dollar, right? We just got an insurance statement. It was a sob story. Your insurance is going to go up. Your car insurance is going to go up because inflation, because premiums, because of people's accidents, because of cost of doing business, all of these things. And I'm thinking, dude, I don't give a shit about your business. I don't care about any of those things. I want a fair price. I want a good product at a fair price. That's all. I'm not your friend. I'm not your buddy. I don't care about you personally. I don't care about your employees. I don't care about any of those things. All I care is that you're giving me a good product at a fair price, and that I know if there's trouble, you're going to be there to help out. I don't even know that anymore. Like there's so many deductibles and there's all this craziness now. I don't realize if I get in an accident, I don't even know how much I'm going to have to pay. There's all of this stuff now. I don't even know. When I was a kid, guess what? They covered everything, right? You didn't have to justify, you didn't have to pay these deductibles, you didn't have to do that, right? There were insurance back then. They were making money. They didn't do these shenanigans. The reason they're doing it now is because the government said you have to have insurance. Who does that benefit? It benefits the insurance company, the lobbyists, whoever's behind that. It doesn't benefit the consumer at all. So if you can dictate, if you have to have it, you can dictate terms. It's that simple. It is that simple. So all these insurance companies, the government, they have to make you feel there's an illusion. There's illusion of choice. There's illusion that you can go and you can get a better rate, all that stuff. But you can't, And now they're trying to make you feel sorry for them. Like I hated this excuse. This was decades ago where they'd go, the reason why insurance is going up is because of the other guy, right? like they're not driving well, and there's a lot of accidents, so we have to pay out. So therefore, we have to up your premiums because of these bad drivers. Why? Why do you have to do that? You have my stats. You have everything. Why don't you treat me like an individual? I've never had a claim. I've never had an accident. I've never had any of these things. So then why should I pay for somebody else? Because they have had these accidents. It's completely ridiculous. But then people sign off on it, right? They go, well, yeah, that makes sense. It doesn't really make any sense. It's robbery. It's a way to justify taking more money for you in the weirdest way. It's like if I just start transferring all my woes and my, like, oh well, guess what? I had to go to the doctor and I had to have a procedure done, so I'm going to up the price of the book so it can offset my costs of living. Like it's just dumb. Uh, Watch your step off that soapbox. It's a long way down. Tell me about it. This is good, though. It's good to get this stuff out of the way. I mean, we all deal with this, you know, getting beat up, and it's good to have a place to vent. Just think of me as your therapist. Doc Brewski, Art was a real coxman in the day. You're damn right. Artie, hey Joseph, what is up, my man? Hey Joseph, have you signed up for Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too? If you haven't, I'll pause and click the link in the description, or wait, I'll drop one right here. Boom. Click this link in the chat. Go sign up. I'll wait for you. Victoria's Secret, that's the company. Yes. Man, am I behind. Yeah, billions of dollars. So when you see stuff like this, there are people getting rich, and the really sickening part about stuff like this proxy war and stuff is there are people, just people like you and I, that are paying for it with their lives. They're being killed for profit. We're not going to win this proxy war. Ukraine is not going to come out of this thing, with any favor. Um, let's see. The best course of correction would be sign up today for. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yeah, that's kind of it. Your rights end where my rights begin. Yeah. How do you deal with those variables? Yeah, Doc Brewski, they want entry-level employment, or they want entry-level employment and get paid as if it was a career. When I worked those jobs, I never thought it was going to be a career. I mean, there's a brief moment where you go, oh, there's these management programs, like they got this carrot and they dangle it, right? And they go, oh, managers make X amount. You could double your wage or triple it or whatever. And then for a brief moment, you go, yeah, I could be the manager at a Burger King. And then you look at the manager for a while and you kind of see them and you go, well, they're not really that much better off than I am, and they have way more responsibility. So I don't really want to be a manager at a Burger King. Yeah, schools are making sure that these kids today are nothing but drones. Yeah, it's really, really sad. 3 million illegals just got work permits too. Of course, they want those guys to undercut the minimum wage guys. Smokey, the Concat. There are already automated McDonald's. Wow. Yeah, if you think about it, like if you had, they have automated like cat feeders. You know what I mean? like, why wouldn't McDonald's have like something that feeds the deep fryer, right? You don't really need a human for that. Like, there's some things that just seem like they're tailor made for like robotics, right? So you have all your frozen French fries in the vat, right? And then you hit a button, at the register, boom, drop fries, loads up the container or whatever that little thing is. It drops it down. It stays down for X amount of minutes, and then it rises up, and then it dumps it out on a thing. I don't know if it could actually put the fries in the container. You might need a human for that, but you might only need one person back there versus three or whatever it is. So some of the automation I do understand. Um, and it might actually be better for the product, because then things don't get overly cooked or undercooked or whatever. Illegal aliens are being allowed to vote in local elections. That's how you steal a presidential election in 2024. That's also how you keep getting Democratic votes. Yeah, the interesting thing about that is I heard like first generation immigrants will vote Democrat, but once they've been in the country for a while, and kind of been here and have established themselves, they said that they usually will start leaning right, and start voting Republican. That's interesting, you know. Smokey the Concat says that's why Red Lobster went bankrupt, property leases. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah, well, yeah, you get in power by destroying the fabric of the country. Congratulations. So, New York City has a referendum to allow illegal aliens to vote in local elections for the last 2 years. If you say the open border is to create a Democrat votes, you get called an extremist. Yeah. Jefferson was a beast. Yeah. Spaceman, what keeps America stronger and more free? That's what I'm for. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Obama gave us BLM, ISIS, and so much more division. All right. Well, I've been teasing some artwork. I'm going to try to catch up, see if there's any really good standouts. I mean, it's all good, but oh, we got Cassie. Welcome. Good morning. Wow, Art sharing some real facts. I think this is good. Air it out. Art being all wise and shit. I've seen some shit past Master Dan. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry, you guys. I am way behind the chat. This always happens. All right. I'm gonna start in the next direction. Sign up for RT Bear's oodles of doodles and other stuff too. Here's the link, you guys. Click that sucker, go over there, click it, sign up, and then come right back because I'm gonna show you what this bad boy is all about. I got some artwork here, and I'm gonna show because I'm putting this campaign together right now. So there's a lot of little details, and I want to show some stuff, see if I can get some excitement here. So let's see. I think this is it. Yeah, this is my Photoshop tab. This, you guys, I did for John the Malin, and this is it Lilith or Lilith? I don't know. There's two characters with similar names. There's Andy Smith's character too, and so I forget what I did this for, some kind of pinup book or whatever. So I'm thinking it will definitely make the book. So this is one of the new entries for the book, but I might make this a print. It's black and white, but I think the ink work, I think is really cool, and it would be nice. Like, look at the rocks and stuff. There's some cool textures and things. And like I blocked this stuff out with like a Sharpie. So you can kind of like when you blow it up, you can see the Sharpie line. And then I went in with some fine line stuff. Okay, somebody told me you hit the toolbar and then you can move the object. Let's see. Ho, 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 yes. I learned this trick from the chat. All right, you guys are badass. All right, then just look at all the detail. So when color hits this, sometimes you can't see this detail. So I'm at the very least, it's gonna stay black and white. But as a print, it will look super, super cool. So yeah, you know what? I gotta ask John Malin if I could use this. So I shouldn't say too much about this, but I would like to potentially use this in the book. I think it came out fantastic, and I want to bring more like indie stuff. Look at her hand. I'm so proud of these hands. That's hard to draw like a foreshortening like that. But yeah, this will be, hopefully, if John signs off on it, then this is going to be one of the mini prints. So this is a Harley commission I did a while back. So there's some ink wash, like some color, like watercolor stuff in here for the pigtails and the eyes, around the eyes, some of the backgrounds. So this is brush for all the line work, and then it's some ink wash. So there's some gray tones in here. I think this is going to make a great print. And then I have like kind of the branding, like my T-Bear brand. And then these are all going to be signed and numbered over in the lower, it would be, I guess, on our right side. I'll have the signature and then the number. So these are all going to be very collectible. And we're getting priced now, this gold. I'd like to have that as like an inlay, but we'll see how that goes because like I said, at first I want to launch this very close to the vest. If it looks like things are going really good, then we'll start making enhancements to stuff and making things, that much more, prestigious and things like that. But we're going to start pretty high bar stuff. So I got this laid out as a print, but I'm still going, well, I want it in the book. And I don't know, like usually if you offer prints, that's artwork that's not in the book. Because why would you buy the print tier if you're already getting the piece of artwork? So this was a commission. So I want to get like CG stuff in to the new campaign. That's why I'm like, well, if it's a print, it's not in the book. And I think I would rather some of this stuff being represented in the book, not just like Marvel and DC and some of the main, like the more like I guess like Dark Horse or Image, like more of the CG deep indie stuff. And so this is a page. So this is what the graphics for the page that goes off to the printer looks like. So everything is in this format. So this is all, as the book stands now, this book is done and it's ready for the printer. But like with that pit piece and the graveyard shift piece, they may be additions to the book. So I have a few extra pages to play with. And also, I might swap out some of the old entries for new. So this is going to be a different version of the book. It will not be verbatim the same book. And so I just got this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just got this one here. I hope I'm still. Yes. I got this one right here. Okay. I woke up with like Billy Tucci saying, "You want to use she art? You know, I'd be flattered if you brought she into your art book." Billy is one of the coolest guys you will ever meet. And so, okay, hit the bar, and then I grab. Okay. So this will be a new double page spread in the book, you guys. So this is, if you guys have the original or just like exclusives, this is an exclusive. So this is Billy Tucci's She, this great indie character, will now be in Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too, you guys. So also I have, wait a minute, stop that. Let me see. Push this, do this. Okay. I got to get a high res logo. That's a low res for she. So I got to get that from Billy. But like there's the sketch right there. That's like my first kind of doodle. And so what I usually do is I'll sketch it really, really loose, and then I'll flip it over, and then I'll draw on the front side with a light box. So this isn't the first verse. This is like a light box version from my original doodle. And you can see I had some other background ideas and stuff like that. And then there's the more detailed layout sketch here. So I went in with a marker. So some of this is marker, some of it's Sharpie, and some of it's still in its pencil phase. But you can see like her costume. She has more like I don't know what you call that, like a kilt kind of skirt thing. But I like the more sexy the more sexy kind of look, where she has like what do they call it, a G string or whatever it is. So I thought this came out good. So this will be in the book, you guys. So new entry, this she double page. I'm thinking of writing something up too about Billy and something like the history of the she character that I can put under here, like a little paragraph. Because there are stuff like that, or there is stuff like that in the book. So then this is going to be one of the mini prints offered. So I'm going to have a tier where I have like maybe 3 or 4 different mini prints that you can get with the book. So this would be one of them. And like I said, these will be signed and numbered. So far, I have an A tier and a B tier with the prints. And those will come with the book. And then I got this Nightwing one. So there will be some black and white mini prints, and there will be some full color mini prints. So I'm just going to kind of mix it up, do some different stuff. So what the heck is going on here? So yeah, this is very, very cool, you guys. I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to launch this campaign, see what you guys think. Hopefully you're just as excited. If you are, go sign up for the pre-launch, and you will get a free print, free mini print. So once again, I'm going to run this by John Malin, see if I can get this put his okay, so I can get this in the book. I have a Cyberfrog drawing as well. I got to run that by Ethan, see what he has to say. I got Garbage Man. Garbage Man's going to be in the book. So I ran that by Aaron Lepresti, and he gave me his thumbs up as well. So Garbage Man will be in the book. I got to run this by Del Keown. Keown's a pretty cool dude. I'm pretty sure he'll sign off on it. So, but the big news is we got this baby. So nice double page, work in progress, she drawing. I think it came out pretty cool. I did this maybe last month, I think. So it's a new entry. So yeah, you guys, that's a little update. I'll keep doing stuff, little nuggets as the campaign goes further. Also, if you guys were watching the pontificators last night, right at the beginning of that live stream, I show the Indiegogo site. So if you guys want to see what a site looks when it's in work in progress, go watch that video. And in the opening, I share that with you guys. So I'm really proud of this thing, and also like all the graphic stuff that's in this. I'm doing myself. So I'm not really that good at stuff. So I'm kind of, that's why I like this too, because at my age, there's all kinds of new stuff that I get challenged with every day. So I don't have a graphics designer. I don't have a graphics person. So I'm learning how to do a lot of this stuff as we go. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. We got Torchbearer in the chat. Welcome to Morning Hullaballoo. Hey, Torchbearer, have you signed up? Have you signed up for the new book? Anger Gamer, or the Angry Gamer, I got to ask you the same thing. Now that's a woman. Curves, no shaved head, no nose rings. Well done, Art. Cassie, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Joseph says, Art does nice makeup. Thank you, my friend. Art, have you ever inked on watercolor paper? I have watercolored, but not on watercolor paper. You know what? It's always time. Time is my worst enemy. Like some people go, well, it's the Democratic Party, or it's this. Nah, it's time. Time is my arch nemesis. I bought a pad of watercolor paper, and I wanted to do some, like experiment with some of that stuff, because I have watercolored in the past, and once again, I'm a winner, and I'm very good at it. Very good. Like my daughter has the same thing. Amanda, she paints. She's a fine artist. I have a natural sense of color. Like I have no idea what I'm doing, but it just comes natural. So I really enjoy like watercolor. I really do like it. And I like that kind of look where you have kind of like a hard ink line, and then you have like this watercolor aesthetic. I like that look. Like Mike Mignola does it with some of his illustrations, and I really dig that. But yeah, to answer your question, I have watercolor, but not on watercolor paper, which seems weird. That's cool. I like when you guys interact. Cassie says, well, comic book women to Logic's finest. I envy that figure. Yeah. Well, it's a male fantasy as well. Like when you see Captain America's physique or whatever, Pitch shirt. I don't know. That could make like a cool, like, screaming Pitch shirt. Oh, it's kind of like there's grease pencil in there, and there's a lot of stuff. There's scumbling. I think that's a painter term, with white paint, and maybe some fingerprint work as well, to kind of like transition from the harsh black and the harsh white, so kind of give a gray tone, and also to give it some texture. We got Omer Glitch in the house. Hey, Omer, have you signed up for Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too? If not, please go do so. The print should be Prince because the art is badass, and it should be in the book also. That's interesting. Because I've seen like the Prince done as Prince, because also like there's several cool things that you guys do as collectors, And I started doing this, but I haven't been to a con in a while, where there's a lot of 11 by 17 prints, and so you can get those 11 by 17 portfolios with the sleeves, and you can buy those 11 by 17s, and you can put them in the sleeves. So like you could essentially create your own art book by purchasing prints. But you can also fill them like they have the smaller books, and you can put the mini prints in there as well. So you can have more of like a small, more portable, version of that. But conventional wisdom usually is that you don't put the prints inside the book, although I have seen that done. So I'll keep like talking to you guys and see what you have to say, because that pit piece, I really like the way it came out. So I would like it in the book, and I would like it as a print. And also I like it as a print because it's the format is different. It's more horizontal than vertical, and I like that. Oh, cool. Thank you, Cassie. I appreciate that. What are you going to Graybeards? I do want to work out setting up the camera here and start getting into some drawing. I used to do that on live streams. I haven't done it in years. And one of the things is like when you're working on the book itself, if you're working on a page, it's kind of like spoiler alerts, right? You're giving away like story points. So I stopped doing that because I didn't want to give away too much of the story. However, if it's like a commission or something like that, I don't mind doing it. So on this campaign, the Oodles of Doodles campaign, I'm going to have more commissions available. So I could set up a camera and work on those commissions and do them live. So we could do that. And I guess like Graybeard, they pick a subject, right? Like a character or something, and they draw it. I used to go on Mike Miller's, what was it called, Drawn and Quartered, and I always had technical difficulties. It's weird, like the camera aspect is weird, and I haven't quite figured it out. I haven't tried setting it up in a while, so I might be better at it. But that would be fun going on with those guys. But I like it when is it four guys? Because you get to see the images big. If you had more people drawn at the same time, the images get smaller. So here you go, Omer. Click that link, go sign up. Art, always dropping nuggets. Yes, indeed. Oh, what? I've been suspended for a week on Twitter. It makes it hard to promote. Wow. So you guys promote Oodles of Doodles for Past Master Dan because he's been suspended. We got to work as a team. The system will not beat us down. There are more of us than there are of them. Richard, thank you. I've always loved art and his art. You guys are the best. Doop. Dan. Bananas and love for all my men. Stippled. I don't think it's stippled if you're talking about the Batgirl. I could go back and look at it, and because without looking at it, I kind of forgot how it's done. I think it's mostly grease pencil. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I think it's mostly grease pencil. So you can kind of put down gray tones with the grease pencil, and you can almost go black with it too. So you can go really, really light, so you get a light gray, and you could almost go black. So it's kind of the perfect tool to go from like a complete white to a complete black. You can do the variations of gray tones. Thank you. Let me see. Joe says Bill Reinhold on D and A. Is it drawn in? What is it? Drawn in? I don't know what that show is. Show said he inked on watercolor paper, and it has a great texture and holds the ink was even better. I would love to see your ink and ink washes on it. The reason I would like to use it is because I just like the way the ink and the watercolor, the pattern it makes. And sometimes it'll leave that hard edge around it. And I like that stylistically. I don't like everything to kind of blend together. I kind of like that stylistic little ring or like partial ring and stuff like that. So maybe when I get older and I retire, I'll look into that. Okay, three guys and then Gary doing, yeah, Graybeard. But the images are bigger. Like the more people you have on your live stream, the less size. Hey, speaking of the devil, one of us doesn't draw on gray beards. Well, maybe you and I both could do color commentary. I want to do a show with Gary. I got some plans. Inkers unite. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, Graybeard is great. I like watching it. And Gary, you are fantastic in the color commentary. You need to get one of those color commentary like jackets, like the real estate like guys wear. I think you could pull it off, man. Okay. D and A is Andy Smith's show with Dennis. Okay, thank you. I am real slow, especially on the fly. I saw The Prisoner. I saw it up here. I was wondering what you guys were talking about. The Prisoner was an amazing show, far ahead of his time. That show is so good thematically, art directionally, it's good. Those balloons, like there's some stuff in it that it's real hard to get past. It kind of works on some level, but on another it doesn't. So I have this idea, like if I had $1 billion, what I'd do is I'd get the copyright to The Prisoner, right? And I'd hire digital artists from Hollywood, and I'd say, give me, I forget what the thing's called, but they have these like balloons. They kind of are like the like police force, I think, and they keep people in check, right? And I think they could even attack you or kill you or whatever. So it's kind of like a robotic police force. If I remember, I haven't seen that show in years, right? So it would be neat to see some other kind of object that was cooler looking than just an inflatable ball that they use wind to blow and it bumps into people, and then people have to act like it's horrific. That would be my only complaint with The Prisoner. And I'll tell you that Patrick McGowan, where is it? Right here. Holy shit! If he was alive today and he was that age, I would hire him in a heartbeat to do black and white. I would pursue Hollywood more so than I do to do a black and white movie if I could get Patrick McGowan to play Reed Blackett. Oh my gosh, it'd be perfect. That guy is so he plays that stoic guy so well, and he does it almost to where he's scary. You know what I mean? Like it almost seems like he could really just turn on you, or I don't know if it's like there's this beast and he's holding it at bay. Not that he's an angry guy, that he's holding back anger, because he seems fairly controlled, but there's something behind those eyes that's kind of like intimidating, and I like that. But then he also plays like his characters are usually that, but then he's got like deep down a heart of gold. You know what I mean? Like there's something there that feeds that thing, but it's almost like he's this tough guy and he uses that as a way to help people. because he can take care of business. And there's just something about that guy. I find it riveting, and I would love to have been able to do something like that with that guy. I think he's so good. The Prisoner was McGowan's labor of love, and it was awesome. Yeah, he was well into that. I've seen some documentaries on that, and really good stuff. Really good stuff. The idea of the island and all that stuff was it was pretty cool. Yeah, 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 like the yellow ABC sports jackets. Yeah. We got to get Gary one of those. It'll say like CG or something like that, or Graybeards, and give him one of those like mics, even though he wouldn't really need it. But give him one of those old school mics that says that maybe instead of ABC Sports on it, it says like Graybeard or CG. Who's Gary? That's the guy in Graybeard who just talks. I ignore that guy. He doesn't draw. Uh, LOL. I kid. Love Gary. Gary is like one of those guys that's got like he's got a crazy poker face too. Like you don't think you think well Gary's just a stick in the mud. He's not funny, right? And then with that stoic, just that like poker face, he'll say something really off the wall and he'll just leave you in stitches. That's my favorite thing about Gary. Let me see Spambot. I think I heard there was trouble producing The Prisoner about halfway through, and nailing the ending was farcical. Is that farcical? Yeah, I think that it kind of became like a parody of it. Yeah, I think they cover that Spambot in that documentary. Maybe I'll watch that today. I promoted Oodles on Facebook again. All of you guys follow Joe Bernardo's lead, tweet it out, Facebook, social media, get it out. And also remember, Past Master can't do all this on his own, especially since he's been banned from Twitter. So you guys, you got to pick up the torch. You got to run that to victory. We got to get some people signing up. We got to get some knowledge out there. Rover was supposed to be an Android-like machine, but the tech department couldn't pull it off. Balloons were improvised on the set. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly. I like your icon there too. Patrick McGowan. I agree. I agree. Art, great story doesn't need great special effects. Classic Doctor Who was a shoestring budget, but had awesome stories. Yeah, but that's just it. Like we have like great technology now, but not good stories. So Hollywood retells these stories, but they suck at it, right? But what if you could take the best special effects guys and do a digital copy of like a past show or movie and then just bring new special effects into it? My gosh, I think for me it could be like the flawless combo. Oh man, thank you so much, Travis Perrick. I do appreciate $10 super chat. I'll let also Travis be an example to you guys. Super chats are always welcome. You should add a what is that cookbook to your future project called Oodles of Doodles and Spaghetti Noodles. I like that. If so, ask Dan Frega for his grandmother's spaghetti sauce recipe. I will tell you guys right now, if I could invite every one of you over to my house, my wife has an excellent spaghetti recipe. It is so good. I'm not kidding. It is so good. Whenever we have people over and we entertain, she always busts out the spaghetti, and my gosh, it is so good. And she doesn't use like the normal pasta. She uses like some other pasta because she's borderline well, she is diabetic. So the sugars, but she does something else, and it enhances everything. So it's kind of more like it's not wheat, I don't think, but it's a more brown color. and it's so freaking good. We just had some neighbors over, God, just a few weeks ago, and she cooked up the spaghetti. Man, when you have guests asking for seconds, you know it's good. And there's never any leftovers. When she cooks spaghetti, there's never any leftovers. Yeah. Oh, more prisoner talk. Oh well, hey Travis, thank you so much. It's a funny idea. I'm gonna say it out loud again. Oodles of doodles and spaghetti noodles. Yeah, cookbook. Uh oh, I'm sorry. The prisoner was supposed to be a continuation of Danger Man. Yeah, but McGowan didn't own the rights, so he couldn't use the name John Drake. But he said it was the same character. Yeah, I see Reed Blackett as a young Pierce Brosnan during his James Bond time, and Lee. Is that how you say Lee? I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna look that up because I'm always looking like the White or Whitney characters. It's definitely harder to cast. So I'm gonna look this up because ideally, what I would like if I had like if this was real, um, I would like to do because I'm a big like Green Hornet 66 or 67 fan. You know where it was Bruce Lee and Van Williams. I thought it was a great combo. I like the way their dynamics of fighting was like he was kind of this weapons stand up, almost like Street Fighter guy, you know, like boxer type, and then obviously Bruce Lee, all these acrobatics and more martial arts style fighting, kung fu, and and so I mean obviously Black and White was that dynamic, you know, but with a male female dynamic. And so Whitney's kind of the Kato character. But what I thought was great about the Green Hornet is that Kato, Bruce Lee was the real deal. Like he could do all that stuff. It wasn't a stunt guy. It wasn't any film. It was that guy. So what I would like is if you could find like a female Bruce Lee, but this is the criteria, has to be a brilliant actress and has to be knock dead gorgeous, right? Like, and that's a hard, you know, that there's not many people that have those three things going. So I think it would be an open casting call and just really search for that because um, it's kind of like Gina Carano, like she's cool because she's the real deal, right? So when she plays these action heroes, like she can really fight. So it kind of adds this like cool reality, and for some reason like Gina Carano as a human becomes cooler, right? Like Bruce Lee was even cooler because he competed, he fought, you know, he was the real thing, and he was an actor, you know what I mean? Like the horrible thing is like it just he didn't live long enough to get like some better roles. Like I think if you had somebody like Bruce Lee today, I think you could probably get some better roles for him. I forgot the ending. Did he get off the island or did he beat the machine? Because he was like kind of like today, like the prisoner, the Patrick McGowan character was a guy they just couldn't control. I think that's basically the crux of the story. It's like you get prisoned on an island when you're a citizen that they can't control. I think that's the premise of the story. Like I said, it's been a while, but I think it's a great idea, especially now. I think it stands up more now than ever before. Oh shit, that sounds like a good plan. Now I'm getting hungry. It is getting. Oh, it's past lunchtime. Nap time. Yeah. I gotta get going. I covered everything. It was fun hanging out with you guys. Always a blast. Before you go, if you haven't signed up for Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too, please do so you can get that free print. So you can get that with the backing. Um, is this another actress that could be good for Whitney? Kevin, I don't know. I'm gonna write this down. I'll just type it in later and see. Because also I'm looking for uh, like people that I can use like for visual reference. He went back to the house in London and the door opened automatically, like in the village. Some say he was number one all along. Oh shit! So that's one of those uh, just mind twists. Oh, that's a great song. The Iron Maiden song, "Baseline Prisoner." I'm not a number. I'm a free man. You are number 6 or something like that. Yeah, that song was great. You guys are on fire. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Okay, Torchbearer says every edition of the art book should add a rhyming word. Oodles of doodles and brutal. What is that? Fraud, fraudle poodles and caboodles of strudels and noodles. It seems like well, not all that was food. Um, the prisoner was MI6 agent who quit suddenly and wanted to know his intelligence. It was at the height of the Cold War and wanted to know. Oh, his allegiance. I'm sorry. Jeez, I'm getting a little tired. Bruce Lee's daughter's out there. Yeah. Okay, here's the full name. Oh, is she pretty? Let me write down the full name. And if she can act, the real deal. Not that I have any power to actually make one of these movies, but anyway, it's fun. Like I said, if you can get a visual, it helps when you draw these characters. Oh my gosh, all this prisoner talk. But that he was number one, but it suggests that he was part of the project that tests former agent, aka the Island. Um, the ending was open-ended and suggestive. So that kind of gets all weird Twilight Zoney stuff. I'm going to look into that again because now I'm intrigued, and while I'm working, I can listen to documentaries. All right, you guys, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for the hang. Keep supporting these Hullabaloos. I want to do more of them, and if I can maybe just like do them every Tuesday and Thursday or have like a regular time. I want to start streaming way more. I like hanging out with you guys. It's just fun. And I also like all the other shows. There's like there's certain criteria. With this show, I get to just hang out and be myself and talk about just anything you guys want to talk about. And so I really, really do enjoy it. So please support this if you like it. Tweet it out, spread the word, and we'll get this morning Hullaballoo thing going. It looks like there's a lot of early birds out there. So the evening time is very competitive. So I'm thinking, carve this niche out. I had it years ago, so start doing it again. And with your support, we can keep this ball rolling. And also, thank you so much for the super chat. I do appreciate that. That was very kind of you. And I'm gonna go feed my beautiful wife, and I'm going to enjoy the weekend too. I know it's a little early to start thinking about the weekend, but that's what I'm going to do. So thank you guys. Oodles of Doodles, the link is in the description. Click that link, go sign up. I do appreciate it. You guys take care, and I'll see you later.